This is the CBS News Special Report. I'm Tony Dokoupil. We are coming on the air because we are just moments away now from regaining signal, regaining contact with the 4 astronauts who have been out of communication range from Mission Control and from all of us for nearly 40 minutes now as they conduct their historic flyby of the moon. The astronauts just made their closest approach to the lunar surface and reached their furthest point from Earth, setting a new record in the process. The Artemis II crew is currently taking part in an approximately 7-hour lunar observation period, getting some of the best views humanity has ever had of the far side of the moon. Let's go to senior national correspondent Mark Strassman, who is at NASA's Johnson Space Center. Mission Control for Artemis II has been following every step of this. Mark, what are you thinking about now?
Well, I'm thinking that the crew, the only people they can talk to at this point are the 4 people in the cabin. They can't talk to anybody else. They have 40 minutes of radio silence that essentially began with Earth set, which is when the Earth disappears below the lunar horizon. The signal drops. There's no more line of sight with Earth, and so you can't communicate. Right before that happened, Mission Control wished them Godspeed, and astronaut Victor Glover said, "We love you from the moon, and to all of you down there on Earth and around Earth." So, and the crew and Houston responded, "We'll see you on the other side." So that's what we're waiting for now, Tony, is we're waiting to see them on the other side. It lasts for about 40 minutes, and then we'll have Earthrise when the Earth will reappear above the lunar horizon. Then the line of sight will reestablish, the communication will reestablish, and we can't wait to hear what the crew has to say and what Houston has to say in response. All of this is predictable. All this is expected. No one is worried about it, but it's still, for the rest of us, I think, a moment of suspense.
It's pretty cool. Joining me now to understand it a little bit more deeply are former NASA astronaut Katie Coleman. Katie has been to space 3 times, twice on the space shuttle, once on the Russian Soyuz capsule, along with Kristen Fisher, who is a space journalist and founder of Endless Void Studios. Katie and Kristen, thank you very much for joining us. Michael Collins, astronaut on the mission in '69, he talked in a memoir about what it's like to be in this situation where you can't contact Earth. And he said it's not scary. He didn't feel fear, but he did feel a profound sense of aloneness. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yes and no, in that I orbited the Earth. And I felt what the realization for me was that home was just bigger than we thought. I always thought I'd go to space, I'd be far away, but I felt really just like everybody was right there, just below.
I also talked to an astronaut like yourself who said when you're up there, NASA's got you on a schedule and you're chasing the red line. The red line tells you whether you're on track or you're off track. You're
Absolutely.
on schedule or you're off. And there is a little bit of relief in being out of communication contact because it's like mom and dad can't bother you.
True statement.
Krista, what are you thinking about right now?
I'm thinking about these astronauts. I'm thinking about their families that they left behind on Earth. But I'm also thinking about these images that we should be getting back very soon. I mean, what these astronauts are about to try to do is recreate one of the most famous images that humankind has ever seen, Earthrise from Apollo 11. I mean, can you imagine that pressure? Forget about launching into space and going to the moon and going farther than any humans have ever gone. You have to try to recreate Earthrise. No pressure. Yeah,
no pressure. There's also a lot of scientific value in what they're seeing, right? I mean, one of you take this one because I'm not sure where to go with it. The question of the imagery, who's waiting to look at it, what we might discover, Katie.
Well, and they're watching it in real time. The science team is right there in Mission Control, and I can tell with the conversations going back and forth, these people have worked together, eaten dinner together, had beers together, you know, where the astronauts understand what the scientists really wish to understand, and they are giving it to them.
Come back around the other side of the moon. And that little crescent that you see
picking up something here. We're getting a bit of a grainy picture here, and I think I'm hearing Mission Control. Is it? Yeah. The capsule is. What are we looking at here? Can I ask Control?
The lunar flyby continues, but Orion has also technically begun its journey home.
So that's the live picture from the spaceship. So they are now back in contact? Visual contact, no audio yet. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting.
In the Earth.
Why would that be?
The crew are getting a few moments to enjoy and take photos of Earthrise for themselves.
Let's
and we
listen for a
expect
second.
to contact them shortly. but we do have good signal coming from Orion.
It really is.
I think they're going to be wistful on the way home. I mean, they've been with the moon all day today, and they've been on their way to the moon for days and days.
Yeah.
And now they're going to start going further away from it.
Yeah. Oh, that is an amazing turning
It
point.
still takes days to get home.
They're in the control of the moon at the moment, right? They're in the gravitational
influence
the sphere of
of the moon.
influence of the
Yes.
moon. They've reached that furthest point. We're getting an image of them. They're going to come around the moon, and Katie, as you point out, they'll reach that magical point where they start exiting
This view from
the view
inside
of the
the
moon
Orion spacecraft,
and start heading toward
all
Earth
4
again.
astronauts
Instead of being
will
further
arrive
away,
on the other
they're
side of the moon and
just going the other direction.
interact with us on
Yeah, and look, we've got images of the astronauts inside the spacecraft now. It's dark because they've been taking photos, so they didn't want to get any glare on the windows. But I think we've got, that's a pretty good sign that the crew is alive and well after venturing
Taking
around
pictures.
the far side of the moon.
They do not look like they have missed us.
No, they don't. No.
Not even for a minute.
No, they're not. They're not reaching for their iPhones like they just landed on a flight to look up.
Yeah.
Who texted me?
I mean,
No,
it's
they've
a
been very
really
busy.
hard day, actually. They're focused.
about an
There's a
hour
set of
long,
targets,
actually.
and they really know the people that are waiting for that data. Oh,
Hold on, com check. Let's listen in.
Integrity, we have you loud and clear. How many?
Houston, we have you the same, and it is so great to hear from Earth again. To Asia, Africa, and Oceania, we are looking back at you. We hear you can look up and see the moon right now. We see you too. When we burned this burn towards the moon, I said that we do not leave Earth, but we choose it. And that is true. We will explore, we will build ships, we will visit again. We will construct science outposts. We will drive rovers. We will do radio astronomy. We will found companies. We will bolster industry. We will inspire. But ultimately, we will always choose Earth. We will always choose each other.
Integrity from Earth, our single system, fragile and interconnected. We copy. Those of us that can are looking back.
Do we have it? 40 minutes or so
We are happy to say we
cut off
copy.
from all of humanity, and they're happy to say they now copy. Those were beautiful words, those first words back. Both of you, big smiles, Katie, Kristen. I mean, like,
been holding our
the
breath.
reaction.
Exactly.
Well, Kristen, you had the biggest reaction, I think. What were you thinking?
I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I've heard about the Apollo mission since I was a little girl, and I guess there was a part of me that was worried I was never going to see this, you know? And I've got goosebumps. I can't believe the United States has finally done this. And to hear Christina's words there, this is not just a flyby around the moon. This is only the beginning. This is the beginning of building a base on the moon that humans are going to live on permanently. I mean, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
It's like a relay race where we're all focusing on this mission, and of course we're going to continue to focus until they're safely home. But I mean, they are relay person number one, and there is a person waiting at the start line for them to pass the baton. And you know, spacecraft are being built. The plans are being made to pick up the pace and do more of the tests that you could do, like rendezvous, how to bring the spacecrafts together. They did a lot of testing of Orion on this mission to understand how to then dock on the next missions, you know, in around the Earth. So, I mean, people are ready to go. And it's always been a privilege to be part of, I'm retired from NASA, but to be part of that family where exploration is just like breathing to them.
I mean, the many thousands of minds that have contributed in big ways and small to what we just witnessed, and will continue to the next chapter. It's amazing. They set a record, right? Furthest point that humans have ever traveled. And in that very moment, what did they say? We hope it's a short-lived record. That's a unique kind of goal, unique kind of people.
Reed had a really interesting way of saying that, where he said, if our mission ends up being, you know, on the road of exploration to settling on the moon, if our mission ends up being sort of just like a little step up on the curb to everything else that follows, then we'll have done our job.
Yeah, well, I think they've done their job. Someone who's been doing this job of thinking about and writing about and analyzing space and our mission there is Bill Harwood, and he joins us now. Bill, what are your thoughts this evening?
because of that eclipse, Orion...
You know, it kind of reflects what our guest thought. You know, I was really struck by what a moment this must have been for this crew. I totally agree with Kristen. And, you know, the astronauts will always tell you they're focused on the job, and I have no doubt while they were sailing behind the moon, they were busy with their scientific checklist, their photography, their audio communications, or recordings, I should say. But they had to take a minute just to reflect on where they were. You know, I said before launch that I've never looked at the moon before and thought of it as a destination. And that's what it is. It's a destination. It's not just something familiar in the sky to those of us down here on Earth. And this crew really showed that. And, of course, I'm also on the edge of my seat waiting to see what their imagery shows and what sort of pictures and science they might have gathered on this flight. But to me, it's a human story. It's people who have devoted their lives to this and achieving a goal that, if you think about it, it's incredible, really, to think about doing this and flying out to the moon. Yeah, it's really something.
It really is truly something. Katie, he mentions they've got to pause, those 4 astronauts up there, and think about the accomplishment, the moment. How do you come back to anything like normal life? How do you push a cart down the aisle of the grocery store looking for the cereal you like after that? It
happens, you know, I mean, even up on orbit, you get calls about, you know, where is this, you know, in the house. For them, I mean, they represent so many of us. And I think for them and their families, it's been a long but wonderful journey. Mm-hmm. It's, I think we should remember that they need to belong to their families a bit, just because that, I mean, that's really part of coming home and really being there for them. Yeah. When we talk about how hard this has been and how many things have to go right and how many people designed it and built it and are monitoring, for every seat in mission control in Houston or launch control or your control room, there's a family back home that is making things work so that the mission can be accomplished.
Kristen, we talk about military families. I suppose it's also true, based on what Katie just said, that there's basically astronaut families as well, and you were in one. You were the daughter of 2 astronauts.
Yes.
What's it like knowing that there are other kids like yourself waiting for mom and dad who are right now in space?
You know, I was only 15 months old when my mom flew into space, 2 years old when my dad flew, so I don't remember that. I was so nervous for Reed Weissman's children, Victor Glover's children, Jeremy Hansen's family, to watch your parent not just go on a trip, but leave Earth. I mean, how many other professions are there out there where you're literally counting down to the moment of a very dangerous thing, right? It's a very unusual thing to watch as a family member, watching your loved one go up and do that. And so I'm just glad I wasn't old enough to have to watch my parents go to space when I was old enough, like your son, Katie.
Right. One of our sons was at the launch as well, and he was remarking that it was an emotional moment for him, just because he empathizes with the other families. And
it is really emotional. It's emotional whether you're deeply connected to it or just another human being on the planet. You see it, and I think people are overwhelmed when they witness it live, even when they just watch at home. And I was there down in Florida with Mark Strassman, who I want to go back to now. Mark, closing thoughts here as you watch the beginning of loss of contact and then its return?
Well, I think this crew has earned some downtime, which they're going to get tomorrow. They're going to do some manual flying. They're going to do some more testing, and then basically they're heading home for a splashdown off the coast of San Diego. I think they're probably looking forward to putting down the camera. I mean, most of this lunar flyby has been taking pictures, 10,000 pictures. They've been using flashcards like this one. This is actually what they've been using to identify different areas of the moon that they want to take pictures of. It's a highly choreographed lunar landscape session, and this crew has just done remarkably well every step of the way so far, and the downtime tomorrow they've earned.
Yeah, there's still work to do. What do you hope Americans, Katie and Kristen, take away from this? I think, honestly, this snuck up on people. When people asked me last week, what are you doing on the show this week? And I said, oh, the moon mission. Don't you know about it? People didn't. And now I feel hundreds of millions of people around the world have become aware of it, and they're going to take something away from it. What do you hope that is, Kristen?
I just want people to care about space exploration again. For so long, it has been kind of on the back burner, and I firmly believe that space needs to be experienced. Whether you're watching a rocket launch in person or viewing a total solar eclipse, people are so disconnected from the night sky because of light pollution and whatnot. I just hope that this has reinvigorated the public's interest in space. Mine didn't need to be reinvigorated, but I'm pumped.
But as a journalist, you do a good job of helping people stay interested. And what do you hope people take away, Katie?
We have a lot of challenges down here on the Earth to solve. And I think that when people see a demonstration of the impossible being shown to be possible by people who are real people, who are candid, who are sharing when they're sad, when they're challenged, when they're happy. I mean, this crew, every one of them is very much very real. And I think that speaks to people back on Earth and inspires them to take up the challenges that they each can take up.
Yeah, to be an astronaut in your own life. I really appreciate it. Thank you for guiding us through this. What a night, what a day, what a mission so far, and we hope them the best on their return flight home. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7, on your local news, and for some of you on the CBS Evening News with yours truly. This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Tony Dokoupil.